Hey, this is the coolest thing ever for me. All right. I want to say this to be able to reach out to Justin Brown, a Primal video, and for him to respond and say yes is like the coolest thing. Sir, thank you so very much for hanging out with me. And I'm going to start the countdown right now. There it is. We are counting down, and what a way to start the show. I like doing it this way, Justin, just because maybe we could talk about some stuff that normally, from a content creation standpoint, people wouldn't know, which is something I didn't know, is you guys are in the future right now in Australia. That's pretty cool.
We are. I'll send you back some of the lotto numbers, and we can split the prize money.
I know it.
Yeah,
That's
we are in the
gotta
future.
happen.
Yeah,
That's gotta happen.
So it's about 9 a.m. for me, which is what, 6 for you, 6 p.m.?
So yes, so 6 p.m. Central Standard Time on Sunday night, and you're 9 a.m. Monday morning.
That's it, Monday morning. It's a beautiful day. Yeah.
So let's do this.
Yeah.
Ryan has done this twice, so he wants to say hello to you, Justin. You know?
Hey, Ryan.
There you go.
Link Ryan.
Yeah, so we're so happy to have you on the show. Where you are on a Monday morning, what is it really like for you other than going on shows, talking to people?
Monday morning, I normally save as sort of the admin tasks, and obviously any amazing opportunities like this come up, it's a no-brainer to jump on them. But Mondays is normally a pretty cruisy day for me. It's more of a planning day, and then I'll save like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday for content creation or for team calls and that kind of stuff. And then Friday, I normally try to keep empty and finish at lunch if I can. So that's kind of how the week works. But again, it's you have your busy weeks, your slow weeks. So yeah. What about you? What's a Monday like for you?
So Monday is meeting time. So I have two meetings on Monday morning back to back, and then I kind of have a lull, eat lunch, and then I try to do as much of my business as I can. Like really try to get into the business, just because it's the first day and hopefully I can get something done, because I have another stream on Monday night that I do. So I'm always doing something. And we have a couple people hanging out with us. So what's going on, Gabe? Thank you for hanging out with us today. And it is bright and Sunday morning. There you go, Ms. Hills. And of course, everybody's saying hello to Justin. This is so very cool to have you on. Most people know you, like in the Ecamm family, know you from the videos that you've made. And we're going to talk about all the stuff that people are kind of familiar with you on, because it's important. People have this software because Justin said, hey, this is a good software for you to look into. How does that make you feel?
To me, it's still a little strange, because I geek out on this stuff. I'm sure we're very similar in this. I love tech. I love everything live streaming, IT, whatever, gadgets. And when we stumbled upon Ecamm, we were using Ecamm.
Lights, camera, action. Join the stream team and be a part of the streaming network. Our goal is to help you succeed. Hey, I really do like that part of the show. I would never take it out. You have to watch the countdown. Otherwise, you go through the portal to this side. Hey, I have Justin here, and you guys are really showing up big time. You guys are really showing up. There he is, M3 Live. So good to see you, sir. And it's Monday? In Sydney, Australia. Thank you so very much for hanging out with us. And yes, I do see the tech troublemaker is there. Ecamm fam is showing up. Sammy, thank you so very much. The rabbi is here with us as well. And Sunday night here. And yes, it's late Sunday night, Victoria. So thank you for definitely hanging out with us. And we got people talking to each other. And then my man David is saying hello. And there it is. I told you, Justin. People are saying, hey, they found Ecamm because of you. Let me bring him on stage again. I hope I didn't catch you off guard that much with the last one. We were talking about Ecamm, and then I want to put this back up because it's not just me. She said I first came across Ecamm because of Justin.
I wasn't watching the countdown time, but that's my bad.
No, it's okay. It's a part
thank you
of the
very much
show.
for having me on.
Yeah, man. Thank you for taking the time to be on. Like, this is really cool. because again, a lot of people look up to the content that you make, and I know you said earlier it's just your opinion, but I mean, you geek out on the tech, and so do I. I've watched several people talk about Ecamm, but I feel like the way you broke it down, I understood it better. Even from all the way over the pond, like the way you connect with your audience and the way you explain what you're doing is really cool. Is that something that you were trained for as far as how you're doing your videos? Have you always taught that way?
I think it's an interesting one. Like I've always enjoyed helping people with this stuff. And in term, like for any of us that love geeking out on the tech, if you can then describe it to people who aren't, geeking out as much as we are to the level
Right,
that we are, then they're going to understand it easier. So that's what I,
right,
I love, I enjoy is geeking out in the tech, but then trying to explain it in a way where no matter what level of geek you're explaining it to, whether you have no interest in actually geeking out on the tech and just want to solve a problem or go live or whatever it might be, but also to give enough in there that for those people that are further along, that they can still have value in that content as well. So that's something that I guess I enjoy is figuring out the balance. And it's a tough one sometimes because I just want to go full geek mode and
talk
that's a
about
much
all the
smaller audience.
aspects.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. So
Or the
what
video is
happened?
going to be an hour long. So then it's, yeah, no one will click on it. Yeah.
So answer me this question: what happened as just like Ecamm, more and more features come along? How do you handle all the additional features? Are you constantly updating, like why you still choose these products to be number one if you're using a Mac?
Yeah, so it is something that we've started remaking these videos every year because you think of on YouTube or really any of the platforms, what does the viewer want? They want to know that when they're watching a video that they're watching what the best options are now. Like you could do a 2022 version of something and then when 2023 comes out, which one's the viewer going to click on? They're going to
Right,
want to click on a newer one or they'll be questioning, all right, this was made in November 2022, is this still relevant now in 2023? So with the viewer in mind, for which it should be for everything that we do, it's remake your content, update your content, even if you find that your top picks haven't changed. Likely there's new features,
right,
or likely your on camera performance you've improved since you did the last one. So don't feel like, oh, that video is already up on my channel or on my Instagram or wherever it is. Like think of the viewer and which one would you click on. So yeah, the trying and testing of best live streaming software, best editing apps, best editing software. It takes a bunch of time, as you know,
right,
but we can shortcut that. And this is where I love that, like tools like Ecamm Live and whatever they put out the change log, so I can get up to speed quick. I can say I made this video back January last year. Let's
right,
run through the change log and say, hey, that's a cool feature. I want to go test that out because there's with any of these things, there's so many features. Like Ecamm's a perfect example that when you go into the settings area, there's just so much in there that
right.
for like, but it's not it's awesome to have that stuff, but then it's not going to apply to everyone. So it's like,
That's
what is
right.
the important stuff here? I'll share what I geek out on, but I also want to make it applicable to most people so they can see if it's going to be a fit for them. Because as far as I'm concerned, there's no one size fits all for everyone. The best all rounder, I think, the last few years has been Ecamm because it is, a great all rounder. The downside, I could say this, is that it's Mac only, but
Right.
outside of that, right, it's what I use, and I'm using it even now as the kind of the host for the webcam with virtual cam. So it's to me, it's something that gets used all the time, and it makes it a no brainer to recommend. But yeah, there is a fair bit of research and testing to make sure that things are
So
what the top options are.
how long have you actually had Ecamm? Do you remember when you
Since,
got it?
since day one, I literally saw the email come out because we were promoting the call recorder, and I think there was a webcam app before that. So I mean, I loved that it was just so specific that there was a Skype call recorder and it
Right.
let you record. I guess isolated video tracks where you could have full screen. Each speaker like that to me for doing online interviews was just amazing. I was like, well done to these guys that have figured out that this is actually a pain point for some people, controlling your webcam, whatever. Like, there's such a niche specific tool, but really powerful for those that need it. So we were making videos around how to record your Skype calls. I mean, who uses Skype these days? But
Right. Right.
when it was like yeah, when the announcement came out for Ecamm, I mean, we jumped on it straight away. I just couldn't believe. I think it was some ridiculously cheap price, and what went through my head was, how good can it be for that price? I think it was
Right.
$20 or $30 or something, and it was a one-time purchase at that
Right.
point.
So it's a
It's like,
lifetime deal in the beginning.
yeah. So, I mean, it's still a no-brainer because now where it is and what it does, there's nothing that really compares to it. But back then, it was like, how good is this really if it's only coming in at this price point? So, yeah, this is
And over the years, I've only had it for, let's say, 2 years. I think somewhere around. Pandemic is when I really got
which in
into it.
computer years is a long time.
It is a long time, but the updates, because I still use the beta version. I use the beta version, so all the features that it has to offer, I have it now that I can use.
Me too.
And from the most part, I don't have problems with issues. I had one issue. Guess what? The guys were watching the show. They hit me right up. Hey, I need you to go ahead and refresh. I refreshed, and it all worked. Started working again. So it's one of those things that the company has done a great job of making sure their product is top notch in everything that they do. Even when they have to go back and you see back to back updates, it's because they're working on it and they have
Yeah.
people that are willing to help call support when they have a problem, and then they're able, from again a beta standpoint, to fix the problem before it gets to be a mass issue, or even before they release it to everybody. Is very well tested. So definitely
I
kudos to Ken and Glenn.
agree 100%. And this is where I guess I've never, as much as I geek out and want the latest and greatest stuff, Ecamm is the only program that I have installed on my computer that I use in production, in real life scenarios, that's in beta. Everything
Gotcha.
else, it's going to be buggy. It's I've never had a problem. And I mean, I think the other side of it is the community. They're active and they're listening, and I think that that's huge because you look at the features that they roll out. It's not just stuff that they think might be cool to add in. It's what people are actually asking for. And there's a big
Exactly.
difference normally in when you're shaping your business and the direction you're going to take. Like we could all just build stuff that we think is cool, but it's like, what does the audience want? What do the customers want? I think
Right.
that's huge with Ecamm.
Well, Justin, can we talk about your journey here for a second? How did you get into doing videos and starting a YouTube channel?
So I was a behind the camera person, and I used to hate having my photo taken, let alone ever thinking of making a video and speaking on camera. So it's been a bit of a journey on that front. But I was working on a documentary project, and we were interviewing kind of the top people in online digital marketing. And these people were all super wealthy, but they're also really, really nice people. And I guess in a nutshell, all their businesses was helping people with the stuff that they were interested in, the stuff that they geeked out on.
Gotcha.
And I was like, hey, there's something in this. So I started Primal Video with my brother Mike. Back then, we started as a video editing coach. And obviously, I love geeking out on anything video, tech, IT related. So we thought, let's just teach video editing in a way that I think people could learn it different, because they don't need to go to film school. They don't all want to
Right.
create online films. There's businesses, there's entrepreneurs, there's content creators now that want to make videos but don't need to know everything. So how do we teach, I guess, the 80-20 of video editing, and then realize that making video editing tutorials take a long time, and
Right.
pushing those out every week, it was going to be something that I was going to lose the fun in. But it was also one piece of the puzzle. Once you can edit, you've still got to have good footage, or you're only sort of polishing a turd to some degree. So
Right.
we then started teaching the filming side of it as well. And then I guess once we got to the point where YouTube was working for us, once we'd figured out what we needed to do to grow and to create videos strategically, then we started teaching that stuff too. And now we also share on the monetization. So we've been lucky enough to build this thing to a 7-figure annual business off the back of the YouTube channel. And I guess that's now what we teach,
Wow.
is how you don't have to make the mistakes and things that we did, because we've made pretty much everyone you can make, especially with pushing the comfort zones of being on camera, the tech, the gear. For those of us that are on here that love geeking out on the tech, it's good fun, but it can also be a bit of a curse when we're creating content, because we always want to be tweaking and adjusting stuff.
Right.
And then you might find that you didn't plug your microphone back in, or you've adjusted something playing that then it actually hurts the production piece. And that's the frustrating thing. So, yeah, I've had to learn to set things up and leave them, and then have dedicated tinker time where
Right.
I'll play around with stuff, but then I've got to get it back ready. So I don't want to waste time. We've all had those times where we record and something's not right, or we've wasted our time, and it's not a good feeling. And I guess doing that at scale, you want to try to remove that wherever possible. So that's a long answer to your question.
No, I think it's a great answer to my question, and I appreciate some of the details. But I have another question, timeline wise. Again, we
Right.
have a lot of e-cammers and the Ecamm fam that are on different levels, and they are looking at your success and saying, "Okay, how do I get there?" And sometimes, if you're like me and you're 1 or 2 years now, I did start in YouTube. My first video, I still have it up, and it's super crappy. I was
So
looking
is
for
mine.
street
They're
team.
still up.
Yeah, I know, right? I put it up, I keep it up for me and for other people. Like, you
Yeah.
don't just start and you're gonna be the best ever. I thought I was the man as a DJ, and I was looking for street team members. So I put up a video looking for street team members to help me do what I was doing, and I, all of it was bad. My How I was speaking was bad. The look was bad. The whole thing was bad. But I still have it up just for me and other people to see the evolution of that. Time wise, what did it look like for you from when you started and when you guys actually figured it out?
So I guess we're still figuring out. Now we know what works. So we're replicating that, but we're constantly learning. I think that's the most important piece is you never reach a point where you're like, sweet, I have it all, we're done. Let's just keep copy paste. There's always got to be an iteration of what else can we improve? And the quick answer is across the board, there's always a next level for everything. But our
Right.
YouTube channel was created almost to the day a year ago. So November, sorry, 8 years. Whatever that is, who knows, 2014, I think. So the first couple of years, we were being consistent. We were doing what all the experts told us we needed to do back then to grow on YouTube. A lot of people were saying that you needed to create daily content or upload 3 times a week. And I love making videos, but I would hate the fact if I have to do it that often. So the game for us became how do we do it with just one video a week, but know that that one video is something that people actually want.
Right.
So we wasted a lot of time trying to testing, figuring stuff out. But what we kind of came about a couple of years in was that YouTube is really, it's a system, it's a business. Like there is a formula to success on there, and that really is now what we've been dialing in, and now also what we teach. So we don't create random videos, we create strategic videos. So we're looking at what people are searching for, what do people actually want. We're looking at the keywords that they're typing into Google or YouTube to find something, and we're creating those videos knowing that our content can be the one that shows up in search. But also, if you're taking a search or an SEO focus, it's also you're giving YouTube information so that it understands your content, so that it can show up on the homepage. It can show up in browse or
Recommended.
suggested videos as well, recommended. So it's kind of we're able to stack the deck in our favor. So there's still no guarantee with any video you put out, but we're not hoping on a video going viral. We know that this is something that people want. This is literally what they're typing in. And hey, we'll use a chunk of that in the title of the video. I'll actually say it in the start of the video. So in terms of the live streaming software, the top search phrase is best live stream software. And it could be on Mac, on Windows, on iOS. I'll make sure that I'm actually saying that word for word in that order in the start of the video. Are you looking for the best live stream software on Mac right now? In this video, I'm going to help you decide. So YouTube is looking inside the videos. Its whole thing is to get the right video in front of the right person. If it's not hitting that goal, then it's going to be a wasted experience for someone. Like they're not going to enjoy being on YouTube because they're clicking on videos that aren't relevant. So it's going to be a bad experience for them, which means that it's just going to confuse the algorithm. It's not going to work, right? So any algorithm change on YouTube is only pushing it closer to getting that right video in front of the right person when they're looking for it. So that's the strategy now. So that's what we teach, how you find those keyword phrases. And then obviously once you've got those, you know what people want, you've made your video, you've then got to get it clicked on, because you could have the world's best video. If no one clicks on it, no one's going to see it. So thumbnail strategy is huge. That's another area we've been testing and A/B testing to see what are people going to click on. And
Okay, can I
personally,
stop you? Can I stop you right
yeah,
there? I don't want you to lose any steam because it's really good. But can
yeah.
we just do some thumbnail poses really
No,
quick that everybody
I
does?
was just
Come
about to say, I feel like an idiot when we do those things, but hey, they work. I'm like, which is the
on.
best
Right, which
live
is
streaming software? Is it this one or is it this? Yeah. So it's
that's a
as
part of
silly.
it.
It is.
I would
Yeah.
agree. I haven't gotten that way, and of course, I do my thumbnails differently because I pose with the people that are my guests. So I put my
Yeah.
guests on the thumbnail with all of the stuff that's around it. But those poses actually work.
I, I, I personally wish that they didn't, so that I didn't have to do it. But we
Right,
have tested it, and at least for our niche, for our channel and our content, it works. Like the clicks are better when I'm on there. But there's a lot of psychology behind it too, because we know then, or the viewers know, that there's a person in this. That's the person that's going to be delivering this content. It's not one of those faceless videos or AI voiceover videos. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but
right,
we're giving the viewer, we're setting the expectation that of what the experience is going to be on the video. So there is a lot of psychology and stuff behind that. But I would say to test it for anyone, you could grab a tool like TubeBuddy and you could test and see what works for your channel. But as humans, we want to connect with other humans.
right.
And it's like when you hear a voice, if you can see a face, even if it's a picture of it, you go, all right, that voice belongs to that person. I now know who I'm listening to. You can get a deeper level of engagement in it, which is where live streaming is so powerful, because you're doing that at scale. You're doing that in real time and acknowledging people. So, yeah. So that's the second piece. We have to work out what to give YouTube, what to title our videos. We then have to get the thumbnail image. We got to get the click. Or no one's going to see it. The third piece is, even if you nail the first two, you need to keep people watching.
Right.
So keeping people engaged. If they just drop off straight away, then it's of no benefit to you. It's a bad experience for the viewer because they feel like they've clicked the wrong video. So I mean, we were doing everything wrong. I was starting the videos. Hey, it's Justin from Primal Video. Make sure you hit subscribe. And it's all like, it sounds good, but no
Right.
one cares who you are. And there's no reason for them to subscribe immediately in your video because they haven't seen the content yet. So it's more helping the viewer understand that they are in the right place. In this video, we're going to look at the best live streaming software on Mac, and I'm going to help you decide which is the best one for you. So they know what the video is about. Then introduce yourself. But it's about structuring your video in a way to keep people engaged. And your live streams are no different. If anything, how you structure your live streams
Mm-hmm.
can be more important because they generally go for longer. So you want to
Right.
make sure that they're engaging in things as well. So yeah, in a nutshell, that's what we've been figuring out and refining constantly. But now we're at a place where we're creating content where we know that people want them. They don't need to go and get 200,000 or a million views week one, because we know that over time, they're going to filter into that algorithm. So it could be 3 months, it could be 6 months, but we know that people want that stuff. We know that it lines up for YouTube with what it's looking for. That, we have videos that are coming up on 8 years old that are still getting,
Wow.
some of them, thousands of views. They're still getting people click our affiliate links. They're still growing our email list. They're still helping people with that content 8 years on. So that's our goal. It's not just to create a heap of content, create content that can show up and help people and add value for years afterwards.
I want to do this really quick. Miss Hills talked about YouTube when we were talking about it. She says she loves that YouTube allows us to grow, learn, and even change. Just like being a person, we change as we level up. So thank you so very much for that note. If you are watching this today, Justin is doing a great job of breaking this down for you. Like, he has broken down for you just in the last 10 minutes. He's explained a lot for us to kind of unpack. But if you're there with a particular question, right, you have a particular question, all you have to do is put a Q in front of your question. I'll get a chance to see it. And at the appropriate time, we'll ask him your question so that this could be beneficial for all of us. Okay. You can actually get a question asked and your name on the screen, the whole nine, if there's something that you want to know. So I'm really intrigued, Justin, with everything that you've said. And I really want to start with, I want to go back to, you didn't say your hook, but your introduction of your video, how important it is. And you're right. If I say the best streaming software for Mac, I really want to know what the best streaming software for Mac is, not just it's Justin Brown, because guess what? I can see the channel name.
Yeah.
right? I would know who you are. I need this information. And as a consumer, guess what? I'm looking at who can explain this in the least amount of time. I'm 5, 10, 20 minutes. Like if I can get the information in 5 minutes, I'd rather give 5 minutes to it. Now, if it's something I'm really trying to do a deep dive on and I know that it's a 40-minute video, guess what? I'm doing 2 times speed so I can get it quicker because I really want the information. Even if it is longer and I know I need to dive in, I'm still doing it 2 times as fast. Does that make sense?
100%. And this is where, again, keeping that viewer expectation in mind when you're creating your videos. If the viewer thinks that they could learn something and it should be a quick thing, like 5 minute. If you've got a 40-minute video, are they likely to click it? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe more so not.
Right,
So this is where your viewer expectation is huge. And there's almost like you want to be aware of your viewing habits on YouTube, but also any other platform too. And there's almost like this anxiety there. Like you've just searched for something. I want to figure this out. How do I do
right,
this thing? What's the best software? And you've got so many options. And you're like, I could pick this one. This one's 5 minutes. This one's 7 minutes. All right, you know what? This one's bright colors. This guy looks friendly. Whatever. Let's pick that one. But it's 15 minutes. If you're losing them in the start, they'd be like, I'm back. I'm getting that 5 minute one, and it's going to get a quick answer. So you need to let them know straight away that they are in the right place and that you are going to help them. Otherwise, you're not helping you, you're not helping them, and YouTube's
right.
going to stop recommending your stuff. Yeah.
That makes a ton of sense to me, and I'm hoping that it's helping somebody else as well. And for whatever, I'm gonna throw the question up. Like everybody should know. Like, just to like, we want to know what's your YouTube channel name.
It's called Primal Video. So if you search for Primal Video on YouTube, hopefully Google doesn't say, "Did you mean Prime Video?" That's
Right,
not us. That's another
right,
company,
right.
unfortunately. Yeah, Primal Video.
And I got to
Search Primal
shout out
Video will come
Mr.
up.
Camera Junkie for hanging out with us. Good to see you, sir. Thanks for being here. Um, so, as you are explaining this and helping people, because people are all over the place when it comes to their level of video or subscribers and what people, some people say, oh, they got a big YouTube channel or you have a small YouTube channel. And that's for us. I guess people like to rank each other. Like, where are you at? You get more respect. Okay, so I got 1 million+ subscribers. What it really means, what I heard you say earlier, is that you are running a business. It is really less about all the stuff that we think of, even though you have to have great content, you have to edit well, you have to have great graphics, but you are doing the other side, which is thinking about it from a business standpoint. It's like it's chess, not checkers. I'm using software to help me understand what people are looking for. I mean, I know you mentioned TubeBuddy, there's vidIQ, and there are other sites out there depending on what social media, and we're talking about YouTube, but there's different sites where you can see what the trends are, right? Google has a plugin that you can use to see what's trending. How important is that to your business?
I think with anyone, we don't want to waste time, right? For in life or business. But if there's a cost, like there's a cost to software, there's a cost to going live if you want to do it right. There's a cost to creating videos if you want to do them well. Then how do we get a return from that without it being wasted time? Or how do we reduce that amount of wasted time as much as we can? So that's really where being strategic comes in. Like if you're when we started, we were making videos and no one was seeing them, yet the time to make them was actually longer than it is now, then it's a pretty frustrating piece. And it becomes a bad business decision because the return's not there. The return wasn't there in terms of traffic for the business or revenue or even for my life and my goals and where we wanted to take it. So it really is about looking at this. I love the term of looking at it like a business because it really is, because you're going to be investing, like there's costs, there's time and everything that goes into it. And what's the return for you? Is it impact? Is it revenue? Is it, you get to choose. This is, you could do this just for subscribers if you wanted to, but I mean, it can be so much bigger than a lot of people think. And one of the standout things for me when we were about to give up, when it wasn't working for us, was understanding the ripple effects of how far your content can go and the impact that it can have. So when we were about 2 years in, we were still making videos, one a week, videos that I just come up with a random idea saying, hey, people need need to know this. But I'm talking about the solution. Like they need to
Right.
know this thing. This thing's going to help them. But they're back over here talking, like looking on YouTube for, I've got this problem. So
Right.
there's a disconnect. You might think, oh, well, they'll be able to find it. No, they're searching for something different, even though what you're creating content on could be helping them. And this is where we see a lot of people go wrong, but where we went wrong for a long time. So it really is about, again, getting into that headspace of the viewer and creating content that you know that they want. Like, what are they searching for? How do I show up for that? And then I can give them the solution. I can tell them that Ecamm's the one that I use or whatever it is. So it's about taking that step back on your content. And I think that's something that did take us a long time to work out. And I do see a lot of people stuck there, and it doesn't need to be that frustrating place where you're creating stuff and not seeing that return. But yeah, I mean, this is where you can push into monetization and, what's a good return, because subscriber numbers is something that YouTube's only moving further and further away from. The
Right.
fact that they're rounding the numbers now, just, you've got 100K subscribers. Well, is it 101,000?
Right.
It's they're only moving further away from it. And I like to think of this like, how many channels do you watch their content that maybe you're not even subscribed to? So if
I
your
watch a
goal is
lot
to
of
get
channels
to,
I'm not subscribed to. So if you can
yeah,
see, I don't even have it up, and it should be up going. So this television, I'm really just I'm in my studio. That is also my office and my editing suite. Okay, I call it an editing suite. It's just
it looks
here.
good.
Thank you. I really do appreciate a couple of
It's better
monitors
than
in
mine.
here. And I've seen your setup. You're just not in where you do your videos, but I understand. This television here, I don't have it set to when I watch
Oh no,
YouTube, I
you're
haven't
that guy.
logged in on the television, right? So it's just the videos it's giving me is based off of what I have already watched, not what I'm subscribed to. And I'm sure people that watch on television probably haven't subscribed or used their subscription inside of the television for YouTube. Does that make sense? Like on my
Yeah,
computer, of course, I'm logged into YouTube because that's where I'm uploading and all that kind of stuff. But when I'm watching on television, I haven't subscribed. It just hadn't taken the time. I mean, come on, you know how hard that is? It's just to put in all your credentials
yeah.
with a remote.
But so that's a perfect example. Like, so all these people have these goals and they're disappointed that they're only at this level of subscribers, but they're probably getting a lot of views, or they're probably still having impact there. So it's not about the number of subscribers. I guess it's the impact that you can have with your content. I think it's 96% of our views on our channel at around 2 million views a month aren't subscribed to the channel. Maybe
Wow.
they need to watch 4 or 5 videos before they subscribe. So we're still growing by that 20,000 subscribers a month, but you don't need to subscribe anymore. Most of the content I watch, I'm not subscribed to, but the algorithm is that good at pushing it out. So what I'm saying is, don't hold that subscriber number as, am I successful? Am I failing? Whatever. It's more like the ripple effects. So where I was going before my squirrel brain kicked in and I lost the story, started rambling, was there was a point for us when it wasn't working, and we saw a comment come through and it said, "Thank you, Justin. You've helped me make my first video to raise awareness for autistic children." Now,
Wow.
that's like a massive slap in the face. Like, why am I thinking about quitting?
Right.
Because I can't get over my fear of being on camera or all of this stuff, and it's not working, investing this time creating videos that no one's watching. No, like, we need to figure this out because people need to hear this stuff. And this is where too, it's not too late for YouTube. It's not too late for any other platform, because it's you sharing your thoughts and
Right.
opinions, as we were talking about earlier. Like, there is no other you that has your background, your experience, been through life the way that you have. And
Right.
it's just someone else sharing their opinion. They might listen to you, they might listen to me, they might listen to someone else. It doesn't matter. It's not that there's competition on there. There's a lot of people that have channels very, very, very similar to ours, and I'm sure that you guys can list them off. But
Right.
we're good friends with most of them, pretty much all of them that I
All
can
of them.
think of. And it's yeah, we got friendly banter. Hey, check the ranking on this one, or check the ranking on this one. It's a
That's
bit of
good.
fun, but it's not a competition. So if you're seeing people out there, for those of you that are watching, that there's someone else already doing what you want to do and making the videos you want to make, that is not a bad thing. If anything, it shows you that people want that content. If
Right.
you came to me and said, "Hey, I want to start a YouTube channel. No one's ever done anything like it before," I'd be a little skeptical, because it's going to be harder for that to grow unless it's something, something crazy that appeals to a lot of people. But I'd much rather see you like just talk about the stuff that you're interested in, the stuff that lights you up. So when you do have those down days, down weeks, you're much quicker to jump back on the horse because you deep down inside you're motivated. You love the stuff that you get to talk about.
Justin, I am sitting here listening to you talk and thinking in my mind, like, this is the guy that I watched and to learn editing tools. Again, Ecamm. And it is so cool that you are willing to come on and share the information that you're sharing right now with people, even with the idea that you would think about quitting through this process. From the friends that you know, people that you know that we may look up to because they have the millions subscribers and all that kind of stuff. Is that a normal process? Like when you guys talk, do you say, "Hey man, how was there a point that you really wanted to quit?" Is that something normal that people need to understand, that there's going to be some challenges to actually making content for other people?
I think with anyone or anything that you do, there's always going to be challenges, and I think the flip side is that there's too many people that probably think it's a really easy thing. So it's not easy. It's not a quick thing. So the biggest thing that gets people upset or demotivated is their expectation of how fast it will be or how easy it will be isn't being met. So if we move that to the side and say, look, if I can have impact with each and every video that I put out, it may not happen straight away, but as long as I'm being strategic in the content that I am creating and I'm doing the best I can to create an engaging thumbnail, I'm doing the best I can to research the content so that I know I'm making stuff that people actually want, not stuff that I think that they might want, then you're really stacking the deck in your favor. So yeah, it is kind of like we can all have success with this stuff, but it's not an overnight thing. And I think the thing that throws a lot of people off with that is they'll see those standout people that blow up their channel, get to 1 million subscribers in a year or 100,000 subscribers in a year. That's not most of us. Most of
Right,
us mere mortals, we need to be consistent. We need to
right.
show up every week or every other week. And, I mean, we're one video a week for pretty much 8 years now.
Wow.
Yeah, those first videos, no idea what we were doing. But now we are so strategic in that content that it's fun. It's easy. I know, like I'm looking at what are the things I want to show up for. If you're searching for live streaming software, hopefully I show up somewhere in there because it's something I love talking about and something
That's
I love
awesome.
helping people with. And this is where a lot of people will choose their niche based on an algorithm or this is a trending topic. I think it has to be something that you are pumped about, something that lights you up. Because, yeah, 8 years down the track, are you still going to be excited talking about something? I mean, you can shift and pivot as we did. We've only gone more and more broad, starting
Right.
from just editing to now covering a lot more. But it's really, I mean, you just got to talk about the stuff that you want to talk about, have the conversations that you want to have. Otherwise, you will feel demotivated for those days it's not working.
I say that it is in that intersection of something that you're skilled at, something that you really, really love, and something that meets a need of other people. Is that intersection, if I was drawing
Yeah.
circles, it is that intersection that you can pinpoint for yourself. You are skilled at it. You love talking about it or sharing about it, teaching about it, and then there is meeting a need for someone else. You have something. But I agree, it's nothing like someone going viral. I mean, we talk about it all the time. Say you go viral on TikTok dancing. You want to dance for the rest of your life to get more views? Is that what you want to
Yeah.
do? No, you want to do something that you like doing. If it goes viral, you just hit the easy button and you
Yeah.
double down on that. And this is what I like to teach people. Like, when I have an opportunity to talk to them about what are
Yeah.
you trying to do? Because people really have the hardest time. And you mentioned like trying to figure it out. I told you earlier, I'm still trying to figure it out. I know what I like to do, but there's so many tracks to be monetized on YouTube. I am a host, a talent. So right now, even being on Ecamm, I'm sharing my talent for Ecamm's YouTube channel. And that's another route that people could go as you're
Yeah.
getting into YouTube. That being said, if you're there and you're trying to figure it out, just listen to what Justin said. I'm not saying that it's simple, but we have to get out of our own way to be successful.
Yeah. I mean, there's a great book, The Obstacle is the Way. I can't think of the author of the book. Maybe I've got it behind me here. But it's like you've always got decisions. There's an easy option, there's a hard one. And what you'll probably find is by tackling the hard one, that it's going to open a lot more doors and get you to where you want to go faster. But it's not a comfortable thing. It's all about pushing the comfort zones. Like for me, being on camera, I was freaking out. I'm
Gotcha.
never still like, yes, it's filming day, but I like the outcome of what that
Oh,
means when that's done. We have a
got
video
it.
to release. So we can get views and help people with this stuff. Like that's what I like. That's what lights me up.
So I've seen a trend, and this is going to be sideways, but I want to ask you. I've seen a
Uh-oh.
trend with a lot of video editors right now transfer going to DaVinci Resolve and that whole suite of things. Is that a trending thing? Do you think DaVinci has just decided, hey, they're gonna go after content creators to kind of put it out there? People leaving Premiere Pro.
I think that the price comes into it massively, and it is actually a really good tool set. It's probably one of the harder tools to learn, so I wouldn't recommend it for most people, unless you're someone that wants to be using. I mean, it's like they do Hollywood movies and stuff
Right,
on
they
that,
do
so it's
Hollywood
not,
movies
it's
on it. Right,
yeah. So you can learn it, and I mean, we have tutorials and stuff on it for beginners, but it's not something that I would recommend for most people. To me, editing tools, they're just a tool. Like you're going to use a particular hammer for something, a particular screwdriver for something. Pick the right tool for you, for your level of knowledge, for how much time you actually want to spend editing, and the features and things that you want to have. And you can always level up when you need to. But the most important thing is to learn the process of editing, of storytelling, keeping people engaged. You can jump between any different program. So for me, like we have a DaVinci Resolve tutorial on our YouTube channel. I think we have a couple of them.
okay.
I have only edited a couple of projects in DaVinci Resolve. But because I can edit and because I've been teaching editing for years, I mean, I started out on Avid doing documentaries and things and then moved
Wow.
to Premiere, Final Cut. But to me, you can jump between them. Yes, there's some little nuanced things and, things are in different places, but they're all doing the same thing essentially.
Right.
So I would focus on this overall storytelling and, knowing what you can do in your editing. And then you're able to try and test to see which one resonates with you the most. So yeah, I do think DaVinci Resolve, it is a trending thing. The search volumes for it alone are pretty huge because Adobe is losing a lot of people with their subscription model.
Right.
So it's not against Adobe, but for a lot of people, it's not a small amount that's ticking out of their bank account each month. So I still love it. I still use it, but there's pros and cons of both.
So that being said, have you done a video on CapCut yet?
So I have, and it's done really well, but it was CapCut the app, not the desktop version. So I love the desktop version. I think it's amazing. So when we do the roundup early next year for best editing software, I mean that's going to be in there for sure. My previous top recommendation was VN Video Editor because you could install it on your Mac as well.
Hold
So
on, hold on. That's
VN and
going
CapCut.
fast. VN. I hadn't heard of VN.
VN. Yeah, so it was Vlog Now, which is where they got the VN from.
Okay.
So that's another like good competitor to CapCut. And yeah, but I think recently CapCut seems to have they just add a lot more effects and things in there. I mean it's made by ByteDance, which is the same company that owns TikTok, but you don't need to be creating videos for TikTok. But that's
Oh,
where CapCut comes from. So there's some cool like effects and things that you have that you see people on TikTok use that you have access to all of that in there. Some cool AI green screen stuff, great titles and things. So I love now that it's on desktop as well, especially that it's free.
I, I haven't used it on desktop yet. I do. I am going to check out this VN and everybody check it out.
Yeah.
Just it's another tool that's out there that could probably help you. But I
Yeah.
do know that the features and effects from CapCut to me, I did like editing inside of TikTok, but I didn't want the logo in TikTok.
Yeah.
I want to be able to use the same reel
Yeah.
across the board. That being said, I just thought that when we talk about DaVinci Resolve and then we talk about CapCut, like there is a use case for both of them,
Yeah.
and there may be more of a use case for something like CapCut more than DaVinci because of how we're loading and what the system is looking for. It's much easier to go into your phone or using a desktop for a very simple tool where you're looking
Yes.
to overlay, you're looking for transitions, and we're talking, 15, 30, 45, 60-second videos and you're done. It's just,
Yeah.
I just think that what we're doing now with shorts and reels, using other platforms other than some of the big, robust, I'm a Premiere Pro guy and I don't do reels in there. I just don't.
No. So yeah, you definitely could, but it's then the use case. And this is why I don't think there is a best editing software, even though we make those videos, because people are like, oh, I want to hear what the best is, but it's best
Right.
for who? For what type of videos? For what skill level? So that's where we're coming from with those videos. But I do, like, for me personally, if I'm doing any Instagram stories, reels, or anything like that, it's done in CapCut and it's done on the phone in real time after shooting it, minor edits, some quick effects if needed, and it's done. Whereas a YouTube video, if it's 12, 14, 20 minutes, some of them, I don't want to be on a phone for that.
Right.
You
Right.
definitely could be, but if you've got a desktop, then yeah, there's other options that could be easier.
Hey guys, if y'all are watching this and you're enjoying it just as much as I am, why not just hit the like button? Let us know that you are appreciating the time that Justin has given us. That being said, I want to go into the comments right now because Victoria has a question and I want to throw it up. She actually had two questions in here. So Victoria, you win today because we're going to focus on you for just a little bit. Okay. So she's a vocalist. She's not instructing people. She just likes to play. Okay. So, how can I grow my channel just playing and performing songs? Any tips from either of you? I have some tips, but I got Justin here. So, why not ask you, Justin? What do you think? She's a vocalist, so she plays piano and she's just looking for some growth. Is YouTube the right way?
Yeah. So, I mean, have we seen any examples of channels like this that take off? Yes. I probably wouldn't be leaning into the keyword side as much with this. Although, if you were doing covers, like what do people want? They've got their favorite song. They might want to hear an instrumental version or piano version or a cover of it. So if you're doing the keyword side, I would be leaning into that. This is your version of that. Again, it's about having these fishing lines out there, like just where you can grab the fish, grab the people when they're looking for it, right? So um, the same strategy applies, though. You've still got to have a compelling title. You've still got to have a thumbnail image that they're going to click on over all the other ones that are presented to them at that time, and you've got to keep them watching. So I think in terms of the keeping watching, it should be your performance itself. But what I would maybe look at is if you could do a hybrid of not just performing, if there were any tips and things that you could give along the way for other people that want to do what you do. That it could be the 5 things you do to warm up before singing or something like that. And
Okay.
so you're able to grab some traffic from search where people are like, hey, I want to do that. Like that can kind of be an inroad to it. But then once they've seen one of your videos, YouTube's more likely to push more out. So there's some of the biggest vlogging channels. They don't just do vlogs, personality driven content. A lot of them where they started was having a couple of how-to or helpful videos on there that become their pillar content where people first see them,
Right.
and then YouTube can then go and push out their content to the rest of it. So they'll come for the how-to stuff, but stick around for the other stuff. That can work really well in a channel like this, but it doesn't mean you always need to be teaching. It could be 1 or 2 random videos. Again, your goal is to get people onto your videos that are the right people, so that YouTube can then say, hey, let's go find more people like this with similar interests, similar viewing behavior. So I'd be looking at ways that I could do that. I would also be definitely tagging bigger channels that are related as well. So linking your channel to theirs. So at the end of your videos, maybe if you don't have the next best video for someone, like link them off to another channel where the content is obviously good and the viewers are going to be aligned. So if there's someone else's performance of the same track that you've just done a cover on, then send them to that. We don't need to keep them in our world. We need to keep them happy on the platform, the viewer. So it's if they can stay on there for 40 minutes and go down that YouTube rabbit hole, that is huge for you because you either started the session or you're part of that session that didn't make them leave YouTube. You don't want to be the one that makes someone leave YouTube. I've thrown a lot out there, but
No, that's good stuff.
yeah. Okay.
Justin, what I hear every time you talk, this is what I'm hearing in my mind. While we're playing checkers, you're clearly playing chess. I haven't heard anybody say at the end of your video, link to a similar channel, preferably larger channel, to help keep that person on YouTube. Because if you keep them on YouTube, that's going to help you get recommended more.
Yeah, so
That's
if you don't have the next best video like this, so even like if we were starting our channel again, I'm at video 1 and I'm doing an editing tutorial, and the only other video I've got is on filming. You might go, all right, editing, filming, they're linked, and they could be. But if someone's just clicked an editing video, they've never seen any of your content before, they're in the headspace for editing.
editing.
So you'd probably link them to another editing tutorial without it feel like it's been a sales pitch or something. Hey, go buy my stuff, go watch my other video that's kind of related, but maybe not really. No, link them to another channel. There's all like, if you love this editing tutorial, then you'll love these editing tips from this other channel. And it creates this tie between yours and theirs. So YouTube will start testing your content off the back of their content. And you're going to find that YouTube can understand your viewers and ideal viewers faster. And there's other channels that already have your viewers right now. So how do we partner with them? How do we collaborate with them? Or how do we send them traffic that's actually going to help us too?
I like it. That's good stuff, Justin. So she has a follow-up question, what I think is really good. 2-hour live stream performance or short, polished 3-minute songs, or a mix of both?
What's your take on this one?
So from my background, I
Well, I
would
sip my
say,
water.
yeah, go right ahead. I would say, to be honest with you, this is what I'm thinking for her channel. She has to build trust with an audience. Trust means that you're going to show up on a regular time for them to be able to get whatever you're doing. If people like you, they want more content from you. So live streaming, I'm a live streamer. You're on a stream show. Okay. Like I love for people to live stream. I like the engagement you can get off live stream. Even if it's 2 people and they're commenting with you, you could talk and play and actually speak to them. It's interaction that they could get, and there's some replay value out of that, even if you are chopping up the live stream, which is another possibility to get you to those polished 3 minutes of a song. That being said, people need to be able to trust that you are, Mondays at 9 a.m. in Sydney, Australia, you're going to be live every Monday, and people begin to show up and show up and show up, and you grow from that. Regardless of what type of music it is, guess what? There's somebody on YouTube that wants to hear exactly what you have. And then Justin gave you, I think, the key to it all. Playing the music, you get a chance to be a creator and get your music out. But when you start giving those tips and you add value with, hey, the 5 things I do, like he said, to warm up. Oh my goodness, someone was like, I never knew to warm up that way, or I didn't know this about the piano or that about the piano. And you give them some tips and you sing and play. It could just be a great marriage of it all. And that was me going long so you can get water, Justin. And what do you think?
No, that was a great answer. I agree 100%. I think there's different reasons that you would create different types of content. And again, looking at the viewer, and depending on what the title of your video is, or the content that's going to be delivered or performed in this case, there's reason to do both. So, some people will just want to hear the cover of a song or your unique song. Others will want to connect and engage, in which case live stream could be amazing. And I think if you're able to mix the two, that would be the best case scenario. We don't go live anywhere near as much as we should or could on our channel, and this is why I love this side of it. It's fun to me. Talking to a real person is way more fun than just talking to a camera lens. So it's going to come down to, you want to play to your strengths, but I would say, how do you be strategic in that? If you're going to do live streaming, how do we be strategic with the live streaming that you're creating so that you could have dedicated sections that you trim out, maybe the sections without the audience interaction, to make those effective 3-minute, 5-minute videos, whatever they end up. You could also shoot an intro for those afterwards. So in this video, I'm going to share the top tips or whatever it might be that you covered off in the longer form live stream with a guest that you had on there. This is where I think, not to bring it back to Ecamm,
No, go right ahead.
but for you in this scenario, Victoria, if you are on a Mac, using Ecamm and their high quality mode, it's something that most other tools don't have access to. So if you are a musician and you want to push out the high quality stream for audio, then this really is the best option for you in that regard, but also for recording as well. So you could use the one tool to record live into your computer, whether it actually goes out live or not. It could actually help you with your content creation.
Ecamm for the win. I love it, Justin. That's great advice. And she's fangirling over here, is what she's saying, getting advice from both of us. And I not listen. I'm only here to help. Justin is really giving you some great advice. Hopefully, we can get you going down the right path and find your community. And who knows, you'll be turned around and looking, I got 10,000 subscribers, 20,000 subscribers, and you just start to snowball. That being said, Justin, was there a point in your growth that you did see a snowball effect happen, like where you just jumped and it was almost overnight?
So there was a big moment for us, and it was when the world went into lockdown. There was more people stuck at home watching YouTube, and we had one video in particular totally blow up, and that was how to make a YouTube channel, 2020. And so we got the timing right with that one, that we'd released this video, and it was kind of, I think it was maybe a month old or something at the time. And then the moment the US in particular, most of our audience is US, went
Right.
into lockdown, that video just took off. So that video itself, we were looking at it the other day for a video for our channel. That video itself has brought in $64,000 US in ad revenue,
Wow.
and I think it's brought in 150,000 or 200,000 subscribers. So you never know. But yeah, it was just more people on the platform. We had been strategic with that content. We knew it was something that people want. We were hitting those keywords. We had a thumbnail that people were clicking on. And that video, yeah, it drove some real traction. So you want to stack the deck in your favor wherever you can, because you never know what could happen that could push some more traffic to that. But yeah, it's again about being strategic with it.
I was going to ask you that question about your US audience. Like, how is it for you having this huge base in the States? Like, are you one of those kind of people, hey, it's greater the States, I'm trying to find more traction here in Australia or in Britain? Like, how is it for you having so much love from the States?
I love it. I think it's like, I mean, we want to play where the people are. So I think there's 25 or 30 million people in Australia. I don't know the number exactly, but it's much smaller, or 330, 340. I don't know where we're at in the States now. So what we started finding was we don't want to just target our content. So many people like, I want to show up here. I want to show up here. Like if you're creating stuff that's going to be relevant for people globally, then you can show up globally. It's actually hard to restrict where you're going to get your views from, but it's also beyond your control in that, YouTube's going to start to push it out wherever. So from day one, we were getting US traffic through. It did change the way that I was talking about things to a point. I want to make sure that anything that I say in the video, I'm not getting too many comments. What's he saying? What does this mean? So little things like I'm doing an editing tutorial. I used to we don't call it a trash can here. We know what a trash can is,
Right.
but it's a rubbish bin. So I would say you want to hit the little rubbish bin icon, and the comments are like, what's a rubbish bin? I'm like, okay, it's a trash can. Likewise, if I'm saying a price of something, it's US dollars. It was always an Amazon US link, because we didn't have Amazon here in Australia anywhere near as early as you guys. So yeah, little things like that. I didn't change the content, didn't change the way I'm speaking, but was mindful of where the audience was. Yeah.
I get it. And that makes a lot of sense. But I will have to say this as someone that is in the States, we do really appreciate the British accent. Like everything you say is believable just because of the accent. Do you know that? Like people would just want to listen to you say, hey, this is the best software. And because you said it with that accent, it makes it true.
It's cheating. So the tool you need to grow on YouTube is an accent.
It's an
No,
accent.
I think it's this. It's the same for anyone. You want to engage and listen to what you're not used to hearing day to day.
Right.
So this is where, yeah, I guess it maybe has helped us a little bit. I don't know, but yeah, I find the same. If I'm listening to someone with a different accent, you're almost like drawn in a little bit to it. Yeah.
Right. So I have this southern drawl, and I know that I do. I pronounce words, and my diction is just a little off. But guess what? As a DJ and a host, I dive into it because that's the uniqueness that we all have. It's kind of like a fingerprint. Like some people shy away from maybe a lisp or something like that, but those things make you
It's unique.
unique.
Yeah.
And it can go a long way.
Yeah.
Some of our biggest speakers that we admire, guess what? They have uniqueness, lisps. Really, a lot of them do. Or as a
Yeah.
child, guess what? They stuttered in a certain way that really made them focus on how they speak. And, we have all of these insecurities, but guess what? If you're able to kind of concentrate yourself and think less about who you are and more about what you can share to somebody else, all the other stuff really doesn't matter.
So I had someone tell me my first ever speaking gig was at Social Media Marketing World, and I think there was about 700 people in the room. So this is my first one. I'm totally freaking out
Right.
because I was someone that used to hate speaking in front of 10 people, which is we're talking to a camera is not too bad, but it was something that was freaking me out. I had a mentor and friend of ours, James Wedmore, and he said to me, I said, "Oh, I'm worried about this thing." And he goes, if you're worried about it, if you're nervous, he goes, that's a selfish, like he said it with love. That's a selfish mindset going into this. You're making it about you and how you feel. What
Right.
about the 700 people that are sitting there? Like, is that adding value to them? Is that helping them in this session that they've come to learn from you? So the moment, like with that, it applies to everything. Like if you're worried about being on camera, if you're worried about going live and hitting the go live because you're worried about people would think and you're nervous, like that's actually going to make a pretty poor piece of content. So you got to instead look, I'm showing up. I'm going to help people, whether people show up or not, especially on your first live streams. I know that's a nerve wracking thing, but it's like,
Right.
what can you do again to make it easier on yourself? Could you have a list of questions before you go live? So if no one shows up, you've got something to talk about.
Got something to talk
But
about.
you being nervous is not gonna help them. They're not gonna have a good experience.
And I really like the fact that both of us, for the two of us, putting it on the audience, finding a way to help someone. You gave a great story earlier about before you were going to quit, someone actually making a comment of how you helped them. And if we can internalize, okay, I'm helping someone here, and I just think that's the better way to present. It is a positive way to present, not a negative way. So in the States, a lot of times in certain communities, we say, well, my haters, or I have haters, or people that are trying to stop me. And that's such a negative way to really have motivation. What about just being motivated in a positive way to help someone else? I
Yeah, I think
really
that,
like that. And I
and
want to
that's
do this.
where.
Go
Oh,
ahead.
sorry,
Ahead.
you go.
No, go ahead.
I
I
was going to
just,
say that's just pulling it again back to the viewers, and it's not, which is where I like our strategy of we're not creating stuff that I'm thinking, this is going to change the game for people, and then we're going to try and make it rank. We're looking at what do people want? What are they going to Dr. Google, Dr. YouTube to learn stuff for free? Like it's what they're going there for. They're trying to solve their pain or problem. How do I make sure that we show up to be the
right.
one that helps them? That's our goal with that. So we're strategic with the content we're creating. We're not, it's not about me and what I want to talk about. I mean, it is. I know the topics I want to talk about, but
Right.
I'm addressing them in a way of the frame that there's a big bunch of people that are looking for this thing, and I know that I can help them.
So I want to say this. Shouts out to my man Paul, the moderator. He's here to save the day. Thank you so very much for coming and helping me out in the comments. Also, Doc Rock is here. Thank you, Doc, for coming through as well. We have a question from Rose. She's saying, hello. You talked before about getting sponsors early on. I have just over 100 subs. Is it realistic for me now, or do I need to wait for more subs? By the way, and yes, we've already said this, the U.S. loves you, Justin. So that's really cool. So what do you think?
So I think from day one, you can start to work on your brand deals. Now, obviously, having 100 subscribers, your brand deals that you're getting may not be massive, but what if it was free product? What if you were
Right,
doing it like we all start somewhere, we all start at zero. So if you're talking about the brands and the products and things that you want to talk about that you love, that you actually use, this is why we like affiliate marketing as well, then whether, I mean, you're building a relationship with that company. You're essentially marketing for them, whether they're paying you or not. So starting out at 100 subscribers, I would still be making those videos, but I'd be making a connection with the audio, with those companies and saying, hey, I love this product. Is there some way that we can work together? My goal would be to work with you in some capacity at some point in the future. But here's a video I just made. Ideally, it's already done. Not, I'm going to do this if you partner up. Do the video first and say, is there any way that we can work together? Or do they have an affiliate program where you can get paid for sending them traffic? But I wouldn't base that around, yes, they have an affiliate program, so I'll make the video. The product or service has to be good first. So come from that place of integrity. But you might start with affiliate, generating revenue from day one with even a brand new YouTube channel. That stuff grows and scales over time, and affiliate marketing is one of the biggest revenue streams for us in our business. I mean, we love recommending Ecamm Live, and it just so happens to have an affiliate program. I'm not sure that it did when we first started recommending it, but this is where it doesn't matter. We just want to connect good people with good solutions and good people, and that's exactly what Ecamm is. So it's not a, I mean, yes, you can get brand deals at 100 subscribers because you have a niche engaged audience. There's people inside of our accelerator program that have channels around 1,000 subscribers that are doing monthly, multiple 5-figure brand deals because they have a really unique, a really succinct group, a tight niche group. That's the word, of people that brands and companies want to get in front of. So you don't need to have a massive audience to start to generate money from this. You can do it from day one with affiliate marketing, but also, I'd be working on how do I build the connection with these guys, the companies I want to work with. And I would do it from a sign of good faith by making the video first, or at least one video first, showing them that you genuinely love the product. And it could be that the first step is them giving you free product. Free product doesn't put food on the table, but it will maybe encourage you to make more videos, and at least you've got something back from that. And we look at the next one, but take them one video at a time.
Should someone that's just starting out, I know they can be monetized by using affiliate marketing. Should they?
Yes. It's something that I think anyone should do from day one, because it is one of the only few places where you can create a win-win-win scenario with your content. So it's got to be something, again, that you love. So you're coming from that place of integrity. So look at the tools, look at the programs, use the things that you use every single day, and the things that you would recommend to your best friends or your family members, because no one wants to have a shitty recommendation where if someone goes buy something, hey, I wish I didn't buy that car that you recommended, and they're going to resent buying the car, but also the person that recommended it. So you want to make sure that you're coming from that place of integrity. But if you're helping people with a buying decision, that's a win for the viewer. You've helped them narrow down all the masses of options to the ones that you recommend. It's also helping the company because you're not sending them just spam links. You're sending them qualified leads because you've already told people why you like that product or service. So by it being a win for your viewers and a win for the company, it then becomes a win for you too if they do have an affiliate program where you can be compensated for sending that qualified lead through. And that's why we love that, because it's coming from that place of integrity and it's creating a win-win-win scenario. It's not that there's nothing against sponsored deals. I think they're great too. But with a sponsored deal, there's normally an end point, and it's normally like a chunk of cash. So when the sponsored deal finishes, maybe you could negotiate another one, but with affiliate stuff, it's ongoing. Like there's nothing else that you need to do. So for us, having videos now 8 years old that are still getting traffic today, and every week just adding one more video, that's where you really start to see that snowball effect. So that's my take on that.
I like it. When you were saying that, I was thinking, okay, with affiliate deals, if done the right way, it's another business that you can build that would just, like you said, keep going on and on and on. It's not, hey, got a sponsor deal that ends, like it doesn't end, like it just keeps going. I really like that. So let me do this really quick. Peter said Justin Brown has an accent. Like, he didn't know he had an accent. I like that. And Silverhead says, I always admire his accent. And then Rocky only shows up Justin, when it's like a big YouTuber that's here. So I'm putting her on the screen so
That's
I could
what-
just say she only shows up
yeah.
when there's something big going on. So good to see you here. And she's also testing some productivity platforms because of you. So great tips. So she's apparently watching a lot of what you're doing. So Ms. Hill says sometimes even a referral program. Okay, well, you can get credits on your account
Yeah.
for things. I like that. Something that you always use, and it can be less expensive for you. Great tip from you as well. Very good. Um, the Tech Troublemaker says evergreen videos for the win. Okay, what do you think about that as a tip? And I guess you already
Yeah.
said it. You said that you got videos that are 8 years old that are still making money for you.
So there's nothing wrong with doing trending videos because you could get a lot of views on them really quick. Like a new iPhone comes out, you could create a video on that iPhone, unboxing, first thoughts, whatever. There's a lot of content you could create around that. So there's nothing wrong with that. But the moment the iPhone 15 comes out, that content's like, who's going to watch that? So
Right.
for us, we don't tend to do too many videos that are trending unless it's something that I'm just really, really pumped on and want to make. But we do know then that the lifetime of that video is going to be less. So we'll lean into more the evergreen stuff wherever possible, knowing that then we're creating that snowball effect of being able to show up and help people on autopilot with something that's going to be relevant for much longer. Especially knowing that, a trending topic, you'll probably get more views on it quick than something that is more evergreen. But you could go for a quick win or you could go for the long game. And this is where like YouTube really is the long game. But you could do a mix.
I like that. I like that. That's really good that you would say that. You have been like one of my best guests. Like it's been really cool having you on the show. I had to be mindful of your time, even though it's Monday morning. Like even though you're in the future for me, it's still your time. So I want to be mindful of that. If people are watching this today and they want to connect with you, whether it's social media, YouTube, what is the best way someone can dive into who you are, what you're doing, and get connected with you?
I think our YouTube channel would be the best place to check out. So it's youtube.com/primal video. So if you're just scrolling down that page, you'll see the different types of content that we create. But specifically, it's to help people maximize their return on time investment into this stuff. So creating better videos faster using the gear that you already have. You don't need to go and have that fancy DSLR, or if you do, how do you use it? Then onto the editing side, the monetization side. And the YouTube growth. Because what's the point in making a video if no one sees it? And this is a place where we see a lot of people stuck and where we were stuck for a long, long time. So that's kind of in a nutshell the three things that we cover: the video creation, the YouTube growth, and the monetization. But outside of that, we're dabbling with Instagram as well. So if you want to send me a DM on there or connect, then obviously that's much easier to do it there than through the YouTube comments. And I know, Strick, that you're on Instagram as well. So for those of you that aren't following Strick on there, and you've got a YouTube channel too.
I do. I
Tell
do.
us about your channel.
Thank you, Justin. So Instagram at Strick City, and then of course I did have the new YouTube handle at DJ Strick. So if you're on YouTube, just at DJ Strick, you'll be able to find me. Tons of content out there all over the board, and the stream show is out there as well. So you can find the stream show and get all the old shows that we've had. And of course, you're right here on Ecamm Live. So you can see the playlist for the stream show. Go to the stream show playlist and you'll see the last, I think, 10 or 20 that's there. Something like that. It's a bunch of them there you can check out. And my job is to be able to get people like Justin on to talk to you to help you through your content creation journey. And he has been a super guest. So I need everybody to go over to his Instagram and just hit up and DM him. Let's do it right now. It's Monday morning. It's not going to be an irritation for him. Everybody that's watching, just go DM him, say, hey, you did a great job on the stream show with Strick. And that'll make me feel good that he has to reply to everybody in his DM.
Or a story where they're tagging us both in it. We can pose for a photo now. They can share that, tag us both in it. There you go.
We might as well do it now.
Best YouTube pose
what is your best YouTube pose? And I have just used, there it is.
Oh, we're doing it now. All right.
Oh yeah, I've done it. I've done it.
Wow, he's already done it. So content creator right here.
This
no
is my,
wasted time.
So the monitor is right over here to the side. So every now and again, you see me look to the side. That's where the monitor is. So I got it. So earlier we were doing the YouTube poses. I need to figure out how to do that with my camera and in Ecamm, because I know I could do it with Ecamm. So just pose and do all the funny looks. My look is funny, period, anyway, so I don't even
Same.
like.
I think that's why we get the clicks. People are like, how does someone's face actually look like that? And
Right?
they're
How does
clicking
it
on it.
form
And
that way?
yeah.
Hey, you've been
Yeah.
great. Thank you so very much, and for coming through. This has been a great night for us. If you found any value in the replay, or if you watched this today, please do me a favor, hit the like button. That helps Ecamm know that they're making content for you that's beneficial to you as well, okay? So thank you so very much for hanging out with us tonight. This is it. Justin, you've been great, and I'm going to find you, and if nobody else inbox you on Instagram, I'm going to do it. Hey, this is DJ Strick, and I would like to thank you for watching another edition of The Stream Show.